morning to you. Welcome back to your G&T Breakfast Show with Folly Farm. It is that day of the week, a Tuesday, but not just any Tuesday. It is, of course, Grati-Tuesday. And joining us this morning is Reverend Sophie. Good morning.
Morning. How are you? It's very exciting to be with you. I feel like it's been ages since I last did a live Grati-Tuesday. So I think whilst Father Neil was away, I sent you a couple of pre-recorded ones or something. But I don't think I've been live on Grati-Tuesday for a while now.
I think you're saying true things here. Yeah, it's lovely to have you back with us, chatting on this Grati-Tuesday. And you know what? We've even had some people get in touch for their Grati-Tuesdays. Peter Krause has been in touch. He's grateful that he can help others, and he's doing something. He's trying to help out the charity Pembrokeshire, Homeless Pembrokeshire, at the moment to try and get them some recurring income, which is wonderful. And also, we've had Rachel get in touch.
Yeah, she says, Borada, what a great weekend. She said, I was in Whitland on Sunday and then went for a visit to the Ocean Lab and enjoyed, wait for it, this is wonderful, fish and chips on the Parrock in Goodwick. It was wonderful. And what amazing work the Sea Trust do, Sea Trust Wales do. And Rachel is very grateful for being in Pembrokeshire. I love that. Thank you, Rachel. I caught up with Rachel actually on Sunday, and we had a photo together. We were both queuing for coffees. While she was getting hot chocolate, I was getting coffee.
Yeah. That's what's been wonderful about the bank holiday is just you never know who you were going to bump into. I saw so many familiar faces and familiar voices from doing the radio and other aspects of life, and it was just nice. A proper bank holiday of just bumping into friends and neighbours. It was great. And talking of sea, we're going to have Neil Lloyd-Knott join us very soon, talking about her favourite places to swim in West Wales too. So something you could be grateful for later on.
I love swimming. I'm not so much of a big fan of swimming in the sea at all. I mean, because it's cold. And I'm not a big fan of cold at all. But I do like a good swim. I like to go along to the leisure centre. I've been in the leisure centre quite a lot recently, training for my 26-mile walk. It's very exciting.
Now, that's what I was going to bring you on to actually this morning, because when Nia joins us, she's talking about the wild swimming, but also the beautiful walks, which we've got alongside these swimming spaces across West Wales as well. And walking is something that you're in training for at the moment.
It is, yeah. So on the I keep getting the dates around the wrong way. The 24th of March, I'm doing 26 miles. I keep wanting to say the 26th of March, doing 24 miles. But
that's
maybe
that's
thinking. Psychological wishful thinking. So we're doing a marathon and we're walking from Walton East in near Clarbeston Road, and we're walking to St David's all in one day. And there's going to be about 15 to 20 of us. We're going to start off with bacon butties in Walton East Church at about 6:30 on that morning. And then we're going to make our way to St David's and end up in St David's probably around about 7 o'clock in the evening, where I'm hoping that some husbands and children and various other people will be waiting for us with a barbecue. That's the plan.
Oh,
anyway.
That's wonderful.
And something to massage our feet.
Yeah, you're going to want some nice soothing, some nice water just to soak them and soothe them in. So yeah, looking forward to hearing how that goes. You'll be taking videos and pictures, I assume.
Yes, and posting them regularly throughout the day, hopefully.
Excellent. And
depending on signal, of course, because out in the wilds, Pembrokeshire, we don't always have signal, but hopefully it will be okay.
Love that. And today is Grati-Tuesday. You haven't been here live for a while. You were, of course, here on Confessions on Thursday. We had a dun dun dun. But what are you grateful for today, Reverend Sophie? What's your perspective on the day today?
I'm grateful for Donald Trump today.
What?
I knew you were going to do that. Now, hear me out. Okay. So, Donald Trump. I think it's fair to say that in the UK particularly, not all of us, and this I think is what brings it down to, but a lot of us are in a little bit of state of confusion because the United States have voted in this gentleman, and I use that word advisedly, to lead their country. And this has been a bit of a it's been a bit of a learning process for me. I've been reflecting on this an awful lot over the last few months, and as I'm sure we all have, and thinking to ourselves, what is on earth is going on? And I think this really does tell us something about the society in which we're living in, but also something struck me this morning. We can't for a minute believe that 50% plus of the Americans are stupid. We might like to think that initially, but I don't think they can be. So we can't think that. So then we have to start thinking to ourselves, well, okay, what is it about Donald Trump that that makes him so appealing to these people? Why is it that a country is following him? And I don't think it's to do with him as a person. I think it's to do with the fact that he has listened to those people who have felt as though they have not been listened to. So for, I don't know however long, there have been a certain aspect of people in the country that have not felt as though they've been heard. And I think we find that when people haven't been heard, they do extreme things to make sure that they are heard. I mean, I'm thinking, for instance, of some of the great revolutions and activists that we've had over the years. Initially, those people have often felt at odds with the rest of society, and yet then something good comes out of it. But I honestly, truly believe that this is about people not feeling that they've been heard about certain aspects of their life and their culture. And so Mr. Trump has indeed listened and answered those things in a way that they feel comfortable with. So I was thinking about this from a perspective of how do we go about listening to other people. And one thing that I've always thought I've been quite good at listening to other people, but maybe I'm only good at listening to other people that sound like me.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder whether that's something that we really do need to work on as a society. So I was thinking, okay, well, let's have a look at the Bible and let's see what the Bible says about this. And the Bible says, know this, my beloved brothers. I'm going to add in sisters there. Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. For the anger of humankind does not produce the righteousness of God. And I just thought that was really, really helpful. That's from James chapter 1, verse 19. So I'm going to read it again. Know this, my beloved, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. I think I'm sure that that it's very easy for us to sit here and look at what's happening in America and the administration there and think that everything that they're doing is wrong and against all of the things that we fought for in a lot of ways. And indeed, I believe that they are. But I think it's also says something about the way that we live and work and come together as a society. And I think that we need to be very aware of the other and the fact that the other will only put up with us not listening to them for a certain amount of time before they rally and they say, actually, enough is enough. Yeah. So I think it's a really important thing for us to listen to and hear this morning. I don't know about you guys. But
well, it's adversity to some is a celebration to others. And you mentioned there about the great revolutions that take place. And there is usually a lot of pain that happens before a result comes through. We don't know what the eventual outcome is going to be of this. However, if we do take that advice that you've just read there from James chapter 1, and we are quick to hear, so we absorb everything that's around us, but we don't react straight away, and we are slow to speak and we're slow to do those other things, we can then actually assimilate what we're hearing into our day-to-day life. And it doesn't have to be as macro as the president of the United States. It could be in our little cul-de-sac, in our little towns and villages. It could be in our town. It could be with our councillors. But if we listen to what's happening first, and then think about what we're going to do in response, then hopefully, as a society, we get more of a balance, and we get
Yeah.
more of a direction that we can all understand better. I think technology plays a big part in just being able to be like, well, I don't like that. Tap, 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 tap. Speak, 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 speak. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, actually, I wish I had. I understand now. But you've already shot the shot, and it's a bit difficult then to come back round on that, because now anger is in the air, which was your last point there with the chapter. So it's an interesting thought, and when these things do come up, we do get to reflect on our own practices. You mentioned something there which was really interesting, which was, I'm very good at listening to people that share my own view, and very easy to do that. Gina?
Yeah, I was just going to bring it even closer to home. You know, you say sort of across the board of maybe internet and other things, and your towns and villages and so forth. But even as your family, your friends, you know, a member of the family may say something, and you go, "Oh, no, no, no. Hold on a minute, but you haven't listened to how I've said this." So just listen to it, digest it, and then react. It's that, give yourself time to react, to digest it before you react, because sometimes you're hearing it not the way that it's actually meant.
Yeah, and I mean, it's that digesting it, isn't it, that's really important. So I know that you know, in this day and age, everything is instant. So we respond to everything instantly, and we want a response instantly. But actually, there is wisdom in holding ourselves back. And of course, 40, 50 years ago, we would have been writing a letter, which would have, rather than emailing. So we would have received a letter on day one. We would have spent 2 days chewing over the letter before even sitting down to put pen to paper to respond to the letter. And then it would have taken 2 or 3 days for that letter to be received by the other person. And so there's a kind of, you know, there's a barrier, isn't there, between your initial reaction, your ability to reflect on that, and then respond. Whereas now everything is so instant, and everybody wants an instant gratification, that actually those things are not really very helpful. And I do honestly think, what I would like to say is congratulations to Pembrokeshire as a whole, because actually we're quite good at listening. We're not necessarily quite so good at acting on some of the listening that we do, but certainly I've been working with the learner exec at Pembrokeshire College, and I've been working with various other organisations within Pembrokeshire about how we can listen to our young people and then put into action some of the things that our young people feel that we need going forward. So we are actually quite good at that, I think, and that's not been led by me. I hasten to add, that's been led by other people who are far better at that sort of thing than I am. But it's good to see that those conversations have been had, and that we do listen to the other. I think the problem is that even with our young people, they often will look like us. So we just need to be we need to be careful that the other that we're thinking of is not necessarily all the same people that are the same as us and think the same as us, because we don't all think the same.
No. Reverend Sophie, thank you so much for joining us this morning for Grati-Tuesday, and giving us something to ponder in the sunshine of being, and hopefully opening our eyes a little bit and hearing a little bit more than we did this morning before you joined us. Back again on Thursday?
Yes, for confessions.
We look forward to that. And if you've got any events...
forward to it, because I don't.
Excellent. We'll see you back then. And well, we've got your what's ons on the way. If Sophie's got one, we're going to keep her on the line so she can tell us all about it. And not forgetting, G, the author of this book in my hand, if you're watching us on social media, is joining us, Nia Lloyd-Knott, with Wild Swimming Walks. She's joining us before 10 o'clock.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that. So stay tuned with us here on Pure West Radio. It's your G&T Breakfast Show with Folly Farm.
The Breakfast Show.